Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy. In 2022, Chris Hani's wife gave an accurate prophecy in November that came true. She said in 2 years, this would happen to the ANC. Listen to this.
A letter about governance of minister. He should just have gone straight to the point, But let me tell you, this country is finished. Where in this country, a foreign white can come into South Africa, kill my husband. I don't know if you heard, Zondo never referred to my family, to myself, to my children, and the trauma and the suffering. He couldn't give a shit. Sorry for my French. He couldn't be bothered. All of them.
Did Minister Lamula talk to you when he made his decision?
Leave the minister, don't deal with ministers, I'm dealing with court. I'm in court and out. And Wallis has lost all the cases. Okay. Now he can't say this one's because in South Africa there are gods. What they say it goes. I wish them the best. Do you know about karma? Watch the space, all of them. Watch karma. I give them 2 years. Yes. Talk to me after 2 years. Karma exists. All of them there. South Africans, learn to listen to black people when they tell you about justice in this country. We are in shit. Full stop.
And the way forward,
Actually, this is don't have anymore. What they say goes. But I'm telling you, God that I pray, I give them trust, all of them, including that zone of yours.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters all around the world. Welcome to King Said So. I am your host, King 053, Mr. Easy Imad, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, I just want to run you through the prophecy of Chris Hani's widow's wife, who, in a broken heart, as you can hear her speaking, was disappointed by the black ANC government releasing the killer of her husband, Chris Hani, releasing him without even consulting her. Let me take you back. In 1993, Chris Hani was identified as one of the most the enemies of white monopoly capitalists, or back then we call it the apartheid government. He was identified as one of the black guys who have got too much power in the ANC. Remember when Nelson Mandela and them were in exile, Chris Hani and them were running the ANC. He was part of Umkhonto weSizwe. He was here outside running like nobody's business. When he spoke, you heard a lion roar. That was Chris Hani. He wanted the land back. He wanted the minerals back. And all of those things made it impossible for Chris Hani to be part of the ANC pack that went to negotiate with the white government. They identified him as a threat. It has been alleged by many comrades in the ANC and outside the ANC, that some of the comrades worked with the killer of Chris Hani and the white government to assassinate him. Chris Hani was killed in the morning hours, in the afternoon hours, at his house, where he was shot dead, point blank range, on the head, on the ground. He was killed by a white gentleman named Yalush Walush. I don't care if I'm mispronouncing his name wrong. And Walush was given a gun by a gentleman named Clive. Debbie Lewis gave him a gun to go and assassinate arguably the most famous politician at that time, aside from Mandela, was Chris Hani. He was seen as a man that was going to take over government. He was probably going to be the next president after Nelson Mandela finished his term. So They assassinated him and killed him, and were then arrested after that, because this man did not even run away. He shot him right there at his home. You remember the scenes of Chris Hani's body being picked up, and heartbreaking stories where his children were still young. They were still young. The wife and the children came out of the house. The husband is lying there in the driveway. So, Yalush Walush was then arrested, was given life imprisonment. Now, the problem is life imprisonment does not actually mean that you have to spend life imprisonment. It means when you spend 25 years imprisonment, then you are eligible for what we call parole. Okay, the Zuma and the Zuma presidency, him and Mogoeng refused to give this man parole by the time he reached that 25 years. They said he showed no remorse. The family has not got closure. The man did not tell us who killed, who said he must kill Chris Hani. He never sang a single name, nothing like that. He was seen in prison stabbing at Nelson Mandela's picture, meaning that he still had extreme anger towards black people because he lived almost his entire adult life in prison. Yalush Walush friend, or people don't know this. There was two people involved in this crime. Clive, who gave him the gun, Clive Debbie Lewis, gave him the gun to kill. Clive was released in 2015. Okay, am I right? He was released in 2015. After he was released, he then passed away in 2016, maybe to natural causes because he died at the age of 80 years old. 8 years old. But Mogoeng and Jacob Zuma refused to let this man go because it was going to anger the Communist Party. Blade Nzimane and Soli and them did not want this man to be released from prison. Funny thing is this: immediately when Cyril Ramaphosa took over and appointed Raymond Zondo as the Chief Justice of South African courts, he immediately said, release that man within 10 days. It's on record, him saying that release this man within 10 days. He has served his life sentence. He did not consult the family. Just like you see with Oscar Pistorius' murder case, and I don't want to compare Rivers Steenkamp and Oscar Pistorius to the great Chris Hani, but there was consultation between Oscar, the courts, and the Rivers family, to the point where they were talking back to, like, they were being consultant about Oscar being released on parole. You understand what I'm saying? The family of Chris Hani was not released. They saying we have not yet found closure because we don't know for what good reason was our father murdered in cold blood just like that. The children, they grew up their entire childhood and their teen lives. They are the young women now who did not spend quality time with their father. Now, that is the reason why I said the prophecy that she said, I'm giving them 2 years. If you calculate from that point of time up to 2024, from 2022 to 2024, the 2 years she was speaking about, the prophecy might come through that the ANC might fall. We have seen the worst period of ANC in the last 2 years, from people resigning from the ANC, from the Zondo Commission, making sure that the factions fight within the ANC, the release of Ace Magashula and Didi Mabuza, and you can name all the bad things, the bad plagues that happened to the ANC in the last 2 years since that woman released that word. Powerful word that she released, that karma will come to them. I'm giving them 2 years. Whew. She scared me when she said it. I remember when she said it, and I said, I want to keep this video. And today, as I was debating one of my colleagues about the Chris Hani's killer, I don't know how we got to it. Then I remember those words, and I searched for the video, and I showed it to my colleague. I said, "Remember what this woman said. This is what she said, and it's coming through." The only thing that will be left in her prophecy is the ANC to completely fall on the election day. That will complete her prophecy of saying, I'm giving them 2 years, the ANC is finished. That's her words. That's not my words. So, you guys tell me what you think on the comment section. Do you still remember this video? Do you still remember her uttering those words? She was heartbroken when this happened. Imagine, for those who don't know who Chris Hani is, I'll play out with a video so that you guys can know him better. But if Nelson Mandela at that particular time was the most famous politician known around the world, Chris Hani was just here. And when we come to South Africans who were living in South Africa at that time, Chris Hani was at the top. He was even higher than Nelson Mandela. But because of his radicalness and militant mind, he was sidelined for the negotiation for our country, for our people. And this is why he was assassinated, because he was seen as a threat to the apartheid government. Yo, guys. Thank you so much for everyone who has tuned in, everyone who has shown love on the comment section, everyone who has sent emails. You guys are blocking my emails. My email, my Gmail is blocked. With the emails, I'll respond to them as I get time. There's a lot of emails that came in with this thing of trying to going to build the Pan-Africanist School, the first independent black school here in South Africa. If you want to be part of that, the email is still there. You can still send me an email. We are assembling a team that is going to meet for the first time in 2025 to kickstart 2025 March to kickstart the beginning of building this school. So I'm carefully selecting people. Don't feel bad if I don't select you in the beginning. Don't feel bad. I'm going to take my time. We are led by the Spirit also. So I believe that God will send the right people to me so that I can have the right team to help me, because alone it's impossible to do it. Together we can go further. So thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed. This is your Pan-Africanist channel that you want to be loyal to. You want to click the subscribe button so that this channel can grow and the voice can be louder. We want to reach that 20,000 subscribers by end of March this year. So please, in 2 months, we want to reach 20,000 subscribers. That's only 7,000 subscribers we need to grow within 2 months. That is we are more than capable to doing that in this channel. So until we meet next time, please leave your thoughts on the comment section. Tell me what you think about what Chris Hani's wife said. I'm just forgetting her name. What she said. Don't forget to pray, and after you pray, stand up and do your best, African child, so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.
I don't mince my words when I'm speaking about this regime. I hate it intensely. I hate it. Every time I stand on a platform, I'm reminded of these gruesome atrocities. I'm even reminded of my own children. If they had succeeded, they would have killed. My children were, at that time, one of them was 2 years old, another one 10 years, a baby. And I saw it as basically an inhuman regime, a cruel regime. People who were fighting for a right to oppress the majority of the people of this country. And I disagree with a lot of people who think that de Klerk and others have changed. Because de Klerk and others have done nothing about removing the forces that they created. It's not just Hammer, Van der Vestes, and Hugo, or whatever his name. It is those people who strategized and worked out the strategies and tactics of destroying us. De Klerk, Rolf Meyer, Adrian Flock, Magnus Malan, Big Potter, who were in the center of the strategy of killing people, in the State Security Council. And therefore, that's why some of us have got reservation about the amnesty they are talking about. Before you consider an amnesty, let us see what they did. When we were coming back, they wanted us, they forced us to fill forms to say, what did we do? And I think that should apply to them as well.